What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We made it. We made it. The day is here. I don't know what to think, but we got Albert in the house. He's going to keep me comfort. We got good morning to Bill, Brad, Cheryl, Cindy, Corey. Good morning to Frank, Jeff, Joe, Lauren, Lou, Martina. Good morning to Micus, Peter, Shane, Tim. We got Leonard on YouTube land. We got Julie on YouTube land. Good morning to both of you. All of my lurkers in the background. Not saying nothing. That's okay. I still love you. But you can say something. You can say something. Otherwise, hit that like and subscribe button. Clarice, Brian, good morning to you as well. Lou. Whew. Jeff says something. Whispering sweet nothings. Yeah, so today's the day. Today's the day. I don't know how this one goes. What's crazy is the Fed future rates right now, they're comfortably predicting a 50-point cut. The crazy thing on that, so if they come in with a 50-point, all right, maybe the market gets what they want, they like it, and then obviously, at least probably the algos rip the market higher from there. 25, we probably get a little beat up. 75, I think we get a little beat up. So we'll see what Jerome does. He's been pretty good at just kind of putting out what the Fed futures rate is predicting. So I think it's going to be the 50. But the crazy part on that one, if you think back, I mean, it was a long time ago, but think back all the way to like Friday. The market was predicting like heavy prediction into like a 0.25. So my question is, what really has happened over the weekend and the last couple days that now we're sitting where it's a 50-point basis, like rate cut? I don't know. So somewhere the narrative changed, but nothing has really come out. Nothing has really like pushed it. So the narrative changed over the weekend essentially to go from, yeah, we think we're getting a quarter to a half. And that's what we want. We want the half now. Uh, so we'll see what Jerome Powell does. He's still got the options to, I mean, he can come out and no rate cut, I don't think, because he's kind of signaling that he's going to cut. But then he comes out and he's going to do a 50 because the market wants it. I don't know. I don't know. So we're gonna see. We'll see what happens. But it's a wild one. The other thing too is a lot of times going into these, we have some kind of idea of like, okay, if this is what the market wants, if we could get it, then the market's gonna probably push this, or we'll have some kind of reaction that will look like this. This is a tough one. This is going to be a tough one because if the market gets what it wants, which is the 50, the half point cut, uh, well, great, but 3 days ago, 4 days ago, we wanted a 0.25. So now are we already pricing in the last 2, 3 days or 2 days plus today? We're now pricing in and that half point is priced in, or is that giving us an option for some extended? There was reports yesterday that we could go 3 cuts today. We could end up going 0.75. I think that's nonsense. I don't think we're there. But maybe they're circulating that so that the 50 feels a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. It's kind of wild. So we're gonna have to see how the reaction comes in off the initial number. We'll really have to see where the day closes. Probably TLT closes today. See if the bond market actually likes any of this that's happening, and kind of figure out what's priced in. But it's going to be a wild day. There's going to be, I would assume, some multiple big moves today. I would assume, and for anybody that's just not sure, or just first time kind of sitting through rate cuts. So you'll first get the initial report around 2 p.m. and then you should get Jerome Powell around 2:30. He's usually pretty on time. If he's like I'm 30 seconds late, I'm gonna go short everything. If he's 30 seconds, if that starts at like 2:30 and 30 seconds, I'm just going short because he's usually on time. So we'll see if he's a little delayed today or not. Uh, and then I'm just gonna play off that. But yeah, his first statement that he says is pretty much pre-written. That's what was already released, so you will kind of have that same reaction off that. And then we get into the questions, which that's going to be a wild card. So it's going to be a busy day. Busy day. Be careful trading. Be cautious. Try to protect some some gains if you could. But It's gonna be a fun one. And then how this candle closes today. I even said this yesterday because we were talking. Man, the team started turning a little more bearish on me yesterday. I don't know what that was about. you guys are like, you guys are like, yeah, nah, I think we're going bearish. I'm like, we're at all time highs. It was a retest gap, so we have a red candle from yesterday. You guys are good. Yeah, the Greenspan indicator. So that's the other thing too is we probably have the most transparent Fed right now. Yeah, Cindy was crushing what 4 hours on the Tessie short. But we probably have the most transparent. Like he's come out. He said like I think it's time. We've actually in the meetings we've talked about cutting rates. They were thinking about doing it in August. Where Greenspan would we'd have the indicator how fat his briefcase was. That was going to determine how the markets work. We got the length of people's ties. We were just using anything at that point. But we have a Fed that's pretty much telling us higher rates for longer. This is what's happening. And then I mean they were wrong on some stuff like transitory. That was a word they don't use too much anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. But yesterday was a retest gap. We did hit all-time highs. So there is some strength obviously running into this. The bulls are like getting happy. Even though it was a selling day, it was a big retest day. So, did any of that momentum that caused us to gap up really fade, or are we taking some profits ahead of time? And then the other question too for today is: are we going to continue to take some profits as we get closer to that 2 p.m. time frame? So, the dynamic of today is going to be very, very difficult. I think on surface level, if we look at nothing but the charts, we've been bullish. We hit all-time highs legitimately yesterday. We did have a sell-off day, but that still was a retest gap. We did get some buying coming in at some points at the end of the day. We're gapping up today as well. We're above all the previous VPOCs. So I would like to think that the market's still sitting a little bit more bullish. Maybe some bullish pop out of the gate, and then I also wouldn't be shocked if we kind of just chop around a little bit until the 2 p.m. time frame. But this is a not a very stable, clear territory that we're in until we get some news. So we'll see what happens. Almost would have been better if it came out this morning and just released it prior to the market. Then we could have a trading day with some info behind us. So we'll see how it plays out. But right now the candle's still telling me stay bullish. This is a retest. 2 p.m. Who knows? Who knows? We will see. And then we get a 50-point basis hike, and then it's all priced in, and then the markets drop on. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We got the Qs. The Qs are also gapping up a little bit, nothing too crazy. We've obviously been just getting crushed by, not really crushed, but just stalled, pretty much flattened by that little downtrend line that we have. We did gap above it yesterday, so the bulls were able to get us above it. We have a little bit of a gap and go today, still inside day candle. Probably causes a little chop. I got resistance on this 475.28. Obviously, I think if we start breaking out of the highs of yesterday at any point today, that would probably get us a pretty nasty bullish push. I could see us getting up to like 481.31. Also, this is the other thing too is the market for this week wasn't pricing in huge moves. Like if you're looking at the options, they weren't really pricing in big moves for today too, and everybody's kind of expecting a big move. So that's a little strange too. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out how to take that, but like you're looking at like a 1.5% move for the week. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll have a lot more info at the close of today for sure. VIX could be interesting. VIX could be. I would say more so if we sell off though. So if the market goes bullish, the VIX is going to drop and then straight up. And we'll get into more when the market's alive, but let's take a look at where we're at on TLT. TLT, a little bit of a pullback ahead of the rate cut. I would think that would be higher. That's not a good sign. I don't know. That's not a great sign for TLT. Okay. You would think on rate cut day, TLT would actually be pushing higher. There's a lot of people sitting on TLT in a bullish direction, assuming that this thing just goes higher because of rate cuts. Interesting. Okay. It's kind of nuts. Uh it says it's kind of like Christmas Eve. A little bit, yeah. A little bit, but we can't find any gifts anywhere. We can't find the early presents. I don't know. I bought up BRCC yesterday, went up 12% in one day. Ooh, let's take a look at that. Let me know if you guys got other tickers. I see a couple, I think. Not many today. Not many. Uh BRC. Yeah, good day on that one. You still holding or you probably cashed out? You're opening into a little resistance now. It is a gap up, so you would have made a little bit more, but it's also a retest gap into a decent resistance. Again, this could be one of those ones that just chops around for a little bit. We'll see, but nice win. Beautiful win. Let's see what else we got. Google, GOOGL. So here's one where I don't think the interest rates will really affect it. It's not like they don't have cash. Maybe interest rates, if they come down a little bit, maybe that opens the door to some more advertising for some companies potentially, which would longer term relate to Google, but it's going to need a couple cycles, I think, for that to play out. Otherwise, nice gap up. You are breaking, I think, the high of the day by a few pennies. Yep. So you got slightly above the high of yesterday. Getting some decent continuation on this one. I think you start getting some resistance. The first resistance, I think, is 161.29. And then a big one would probably take us into 161.72. A lot of bear volume in there. The bears might want to protect that. So the high of that candle also lines up with the VPOC. So somewhere in that 161.78, 161.72 zone could be a little bit of resistance. You're trapping any of the bears that eventually did get in there yesterday. So you have a little trap for the bears, but otherwise, ultimately a retest gap. We'll add it a little bit higher. I think I'd want this one to pull back first. But we'll see what that opening candle looks like. And then we'll have to see if we can make money on that reward portion of it. Cheryl says Christmas Eve when you aren't sure if you're getting a PlayStation or a block of coal. Yeah, if you've been walking that line between naughty and nice, and you're like, I don't know. I did a lot of naughty things this year, but maybe nobody saw it. So maybe I still get that PlayStation. Just kind of hoping. INTC. Um, got a boat ton of lines on INTC. Hold on one second. Uh, so right now we're gapping down. We got the SPY and Qs gapping up, so a little bit of a chop zone. I think we're still inside yesterday's candle, which is good. This is still a retest candle. Didn't quite fully retest, but we are getting held up at some decent levels. So we have some kind of support in here. I would say starting at 21.43. We are below that one. The next support on this one, 21.29, and then 21.06 would be the next big level that would also kind of come in for that retest. Anything past that, I think we'd get that bigger retest on this one, which would take us down to like $20.34. But again, sentiment was bullish yesterday, even though it's a red candle, it's deceiving. You did close higher than the day started. We were in this for a nice little run yesterday. If I was to go bullish, I'd want probably this 243 to break. Not 243, 21.43. Actually, I have it a little bit higher. So let's see if we could get past like 21.45. If we can start making it past that, I can make a case where the Bulls are back kind of in control. And the next spot on this one would be 21.78. Obviously, we blew past that one yesterday. I think we could probably get past it again. So we'll see how the Bulls want to play on this one. But right now, I think we get bought up, probably rejected around that 21.45 zone. And if we could hang out there for a little bit, then make our push, I think it's a lot. a lot stronger case for the bulls. Otherwise, we still have this big massive retest in here. We haven't really quite retested, but we're just kind of getting held at some decent support zones for Intel. So interesting area to look to go long. Uh, but I think I need a really good candle somewhere around there, some good intraday volume, something like that to make a case of like, hey, I can get some good risk reward if this works. Otherwise, it does have some downside to it. MU is the next one I see. MU, so we're in on this one. Gapping down slightly by what, 9 cents, something like that. 12 cents. Decent, okay location. So we're just kind of hanging out at yesterday's support, the higher volume from yesterday. So somewhere around here. I'd like to see what that initial candle looks like. We do have resistance 89.18, resistance 89.35. Those two have been messed with already, so I think we could break through that. And then the last one, 89.60, which we did get a good bounce off of. So you do have support. You can make a case for good risk reward on this one on day trades. I'd want to see kind of where that first 3 minute candle is, but that might be an interesting high wave play. Get some kind of choppy high wave indecision candle right at open. Maybe a hammer, something to that extent. Wouldn't be too bad. Nvidia and Tesla. Lower rates. How is that going to affect tech? I don't know necessarily that it's going to be crazy bullish for the bigger tech names. Nvidia is just printing cash, so rates for them specifically don't really matter. AI story would. I think if we do get the lower rates, you probably start seeing a little separation. Not saying that Nvidia and Qs and all that start to go bearish necessarily, but maybe more chop for them until they get the tech story back on their side. Otherwise, if we're playing it for any rate cuts, I don't really see too much of a benefit for somebody like Nvidia that's already ran like crazy, and now the lower rates might help out some other sectors and industries. But you do have a little gap up here, same, very low to the bottom of yesterday's range. Probably the next target on this one, 116.47, and then look for your support, 115.37. So if that 115.37 starts to break, I think we have decent room to the downside. Probably takes us to 114.53. If that breaks, we get a bigger move down to like 110.61. So I'd actually be watching this one for a short. I'm not going to take it out of the gate yet. I need some candles to take kind of a breakdown. And I think target for me, maybe I'd want to be out by like 112.11, something like that. We shall see. Tesla. Tessie. Chilling right at resistance. Interestingly enough, we did break through this 231.24. I still got bigger targets on this one. Lower interest rates will positively affect Tesla. So that would be good for Tessie. It's a gap and go. We're gapping above yesterday's opening price for right now, at least. Give me a candle too, but this one I wouldn't mind a little bit of a bullish push on. But lower interest rates will affect them. Apple AAPL. Apple. Big resistance that we're at. And a retest candle. So what I would like to see, and again, we'll see. But I'll run this in two scenarios. Yesterday was an inside day. You did have a high wave candle, lots of volume. We are opening above it. That's bullish. I'd like to play this one bullish. And the question is how. I'm okay in either scenario. So high wave out of the gate, I'll take that. somewhere where I could get in, maybe currently where we're at, but give me a candle first. If we pull back, I'm looking for some kind of support back to like 216.55. So the closer I could get to that, I'd be okay taking that one bullish as well. But that's a pretty interesting gap and go inside candle with a high wave candle with volume, and we're taking both out. So if we're opening here, yeah, bullish target to this one would be 219.73. Crazy Apple Day would take us to 222.69. I'm not sure that we get to that price before Jerome Powell, but if the market wants to push bullish and everything just keeps running, if that's going to be the day today, then that would actually be my target for today. Mm. And then you're saying Amazon also has a Doge as well. Uh, yeah, right at yesterday's support resistance. I think anything above like 178.15 could set us up on a decent bull path to 192. We obviously got rejected up here once before. Anything I think below 186.55 would at least take us into this 184.71 zone. And then if that breaks, we have a much bigger pullback after that little reversal potential candle. I kind of still want to be bullish on it until Jerome Powell tells me not to be bullish anymore. All right, let's get this one a little bit higher. Really good volume last few days. For Amazon, I don't see that much volume on it. Oh, on Upstart. Okay. Let's take a look at that one. Upstart. Yeah, there's some volume. Inside day from yesterday. See if you get a pullback on this one first. 36.78 would be your as close as possible to a great entry. Maybe get 36.70. But last few days we've been just kind of chopping in the zone. Target on this one would take me to about 39.34. If that could break, we have a case that we could probably get to like 41.75. But yeah, I'd see if you could at least look to buy it off the dip. See if that wants to pull back a little bit. But definitely some good volume on that one. Can we take a look at V? No pullback anytime soon. I wouldn't go long here. Doesn't mean it's not going higher. I just would absolutely be chasing this thing. We just hit 52-week highs. We did just have a pullback. So this last move, we had a pullback into like August 7th, and then we started to kind of pop from there. Really good play on this one. Lower interest rates. I would assume could positively affect Visa. Not as directly as maybe some REITs and real estate and stuff like that. I don't know about anytime soon. That is one heck of a move though that you had on Visa. If you're looking to buy it again, I wouldn't be buying it here for me. I think I'd be buying it too high, and I feel like I'm chasing. This chart looks like it's going higher from here, so I would let it go higher and see if you get a bigger shift maybe in the market sentiment. Maybe got some earnings coming out that they disappoint on, and then use that opportunity to try to buy it to get in. But that's a straight up move for that one. Santella says, "Hi, I'm back over." I was just thinking about you, Santella. I was like, I'm gonna see Santella in a minute. Hope Santella's good. All right, we got Palantir, but of course Santella's good. She's in Australia. Good day, mate. Is that what they say? I think. I think. I don't know. PLTR. You're at 52-week highs legitimately from yesterday as well. We are pulling back. This one, inside day, low of the day. I think you have good risk reward to buy this dip at the very open, specifically for a day trade, nothing else. But your target's going to be probably about 36.27. So see if you can make that work. If you can start breaking through that, the next little spot is about 36.48, and then look to go higher. But I think there's probably somewhere around this 36.30 zone. That's going to be a pretty decent resistance on it. You've had a lot of days bullish in a row. So I would look at that as some kind of resistance to go almost short or sell some covered calls, buy some puts, things like that if you get that little push up. So risk reward right now with the open is, I think, a buy. But that being said, I think your target for today probably 35.57. So I think this thing gets bought up, probably rejected, and then maybe get down to like that 35.50 zone. Anything past that will take you down to like 34.95. Zim. Mm-mm. Zim, zim, zim. Oh, yeah, toward the high of the day, inside candle. I would think if you want to try this one, see if you get a pull back to like 1938. You did hit a good, kind of a good resistance. I don't know if we got up there quite up there yet, but 1979 would be my first target. You have a couple others after this one. This is one that can go stupidly crazy. So any of the smaller targets in here, I'd almost look for a swing, 2170, something like that. Which again, maybe happens today. I don't. This is also a what Israeli company, I believe. So the U.S. rates probably won't affect it as much. So Jerome Powell, his superpowers might be defective against it. Dell, this one I would continue to look long on. We got good resistance, which we got rejected off of yesterday, almost to the penny, but 1795. So we did play with that one. Inside day for now. This is still a retest gaps to see if we get that little pullback. Look for some kind of support around 116.50. That'd be right off the 100. And then, again, my only biggest problem with this one is it's tech. Interest rate sensitive companies, I think will have a bigger move probably in the next, I would say, couple weeks if we do get these lower rates, and then especially if Jerome Powell's out there talking about, like, I would almost even say like Snapchat with a whole bunch of debt where they could kind of refinance, restructure, would start to look a little bit better in the tech sector. Maybe they just got to make money and figure out how to run a company. But besides that, uh, obviously Dell's going to be a much stronger company. It is off the lows. It's not bad on a technical basis. But if you do want to buy this one, I would be looking for like 116.50. And targets, even for day trade, we got lots of room, 123.27. How's that the morning bell already? That's kind of rude. Mid-sentence and everything. That's nuts. But everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Stay safe out there. Obviously, big day, big news coming out. We'll reassess everything tomorrow. And we'll go from there. But you guys are awesome, and I'll